Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for more survival. It's a very sad incident. I was just watching this. This happened in Galicia, in Spain. A bus went out of the road into a river and 6 people lost their lives. Now, yeah, the images are, this looks very high. This seems to be a bridge, so probably a lot of these people died. Some of them were rescued, but probably many of them were seriously injured or even died as the bus fell. Some probably drowned, so very sad incident. This happened in Christmas Eve. Look at the current. They had to stop the rescue efforts as to retrieve the bodies of the deceased. But look at that current. You have no idea how strong that current is. One of these guys that falls there, the current will just drag him underwater, and even with a life jacket, it's still risky, still dangerous. So they suspended the operation until it gave up a little bit. But man, what a sad story, right? Now, even then, as I watch this, I think of so many things in terms of preparedness. What is it that you can do? Well, these are tragedies. These are things that at some points there's really not much you can do. I mean, you're in a bus, the driver just makes a mistake or something goes wrong and you end up in a river. And yet there's that mindset that I have that makes me think of things in which you can prevent this or just improve your odds of survival. The first one that comes to mind is don't go driving at night, don't hit the road at night. Usually Christmas Eve, there's more people that are likely to be drinking. Apparently the driver was not drunk, he was not under the effects of drugs, so whatever happened, it was something that was not directly related to something that you could blame the driver for. So just a tragedy, skipping on the ice or whatnot, we don't know at this point. But those things can happen, and it's usually the case. Stats say that at night you're more in risk. At night you're more likely to suffer accidents, and more of the tragedies, loss of life usually happen at night. The way I go about these things is I try not to drive at night. If after dark, stay home and just live my life. Having said that, if I have something going on that that's important, that I just think it's worth it, yeah, I will go with the family, have a good time. I still try to avoid it as much as I can. So while not making this something that impairs the way in which I live and enjoy life, I'm not much of a night person. Never been the kind of guy that goes out, clubbing much. Yeah, maybe at some age, but usually not my thing. So whenever it can be avoided, rather go hit the road during the day. Whenever that's the option, that's what I make an extra effort to make sure I'm not out driving at night. If I have to do it, perfectly fine. I'll just be extra cautious, avoid as much as possible. Number one. Number two would be the aspect of what happens when your car goes into water. That's where little things like these come into play. This is my car keychain, right? I have a little flashlight, I have a little Victorinox Manager multi-tool, and I have this device. I'll leave the links for these things there below. I have the Rescue Me tool. Now, these are not perfect, but they tend to work quite well when breaking glass. Maybe you need a couple of tries going for those corners. Watch a YouTube video. It's not really rocket science, but this is what you would be using for breaking that window. It also has a seatbelt cutter right about there. Okay, so this is what I have always in my car keychain. Besides that, because 3 is 2, 2 is 1, and 1 is none, I have a bigger bar right next to my seat, which is intended for locking the steering wheel, as an anti-theft device. It has a metal tip on one side, and that metal tube I could just bring it out and just smash the window. That will be very effective. Also, if I need to bend metal, that's somewhat of a larger metal bar, and you could do that with it. I also have in the glove compartment right between the two seats a rescue tool, a Victorinox rescue tool. So that also has yet another glass breaker and a seatbelt cutter. So again, having different options. And probably the metal tube is the one that, you pick it up, boom, you smash the window, and that's gonna be very effective if this little thing doesn't do the trick. Now, in terms of your car going to a body of water, maybe you just drive out of the side of the road and skip, or just whatever, an oil puddle or whatever reason you end up in water, your car will sink. And will sink pretty fast. You have a few seconds, but in those seconds, if you try to open the door, there's a good chance that you will not be able to do that successfully because of the pressure of the water. If you're quick enough, sometimes you're able to open the door. Sometimes that's not the case, but something has to break that window. It's not just water. If you've been involved in a car accident and the metal has twisted and bent a little bit, you may be stuck in your car as there's fire. Maybe there's a flame going on somewhere. My car is diesel, so I would not be in a position where my car is likely to blow up. But I don't know about the car that maybe hit me. Maybe the car that hit me is one that's with gasoline, and that's what's likely to burn me to death. So it's not just water. Even just having a car accident and being left in the middle of the road at night, that's increasing exponentially the odds of a car just driving straight into you like a freaking train and killing you just as well. Whatever the reason, if the car's not working, you can't open the doors, you need to have something to punch your way out of that thing, break the glass, make it out. Stuff like this kind of knowledge. Open the door immediately if there's water. That improves the chances of you making it out alive. Knowing how to swim. How well can you swim? Have you ever had swimming lessons? Never in your life? Oh, I'm a great swimmer, Fernando. Okay, you're a great swimmer just like you're a great shooter, but you never took a single class on defensive shooting with that kind of gun. You're assuming things. Swimming is no different. I make sure I've had swimming lessons and training for many years as a kid and even as a teenager, and I do the same for my kids. My kids, I want each of them to have at least a year worth of consistent swimming training so as to know proper techniques. It makes a difference. It's not all the same. The guy that just floats a little bit and just goes puddling around. No, proper technique, know how to swim. That's crucial. That's an essential skill. It's great for your health as well, but it's an essential skill that everyone should have. Know how to swim. Now, with this current, you're done. With this current, even a great swimmer will have a very hard time. This is not about swimming. That's about survival at that point. Right? Even with this kind of current, you're going to be thrown against a tree or something's going to be hitting you. The current's going to be dragging you underwater. That is life-threatening right there, even with a life jacket. So you still want to know how to swim. You still want to know how to stop bleeding if someone is cut, someone is hurt. Do you have a first aid kit in your vehicle? Do you have a tourniquet? Do you know how to improvise one? Lots of things. How fit are you? Are you strong enough to pull yourself out of this mess? Are you strong enough to get your son out of it? Your kids? Help your some other people? These are the things that, if you have some physical training, if you work out, if you do weightlifting a little bit, all of these things that make you physically more capable, all of that will come into play in these situations. Also, luck. How did that vehicle fall? Were you lucky or not? Well, that's beyond your control. But let's worry about the things that we can control that improve our odds of survival in cases like these, as well as many others. Many of these things apply to a number of cases. Do you have a flashlight with you so as to signal your position, so as to find your way in the dark when everything is pitch dark and all you hear is a running water? You don't know where you even have to go. Right, where the shore is. You have no idea. Having something like this may be the thing that saves your life. Having something like this may be the thing that allows you to signal your position for people that don't even know you're down there, you're hurt. Maybe you're just on the side of the road, injured, and having a flashlight that has like a beacon, and you turn that on just before passing out. That may end up saving your life as well. All of these little minute details are what come into play in some of these extreme situations where just little details may be the difference between life and death. Folks, it's going to be all for now. If you want to learn more about survival preparedness, lots of this practical stuff is covered in Street Survival Skills. That book over there, you will have it there in the links below, as well as Surviving the Economic Collapse and Bugging Out and Relocating. Guys, take care. See you on the next one.